Great. Without further ado, I would like to introduce Dinesh Sharma. Dinesh is considered one of the biggest relationship builders in the industry. He's an author, a speaker, and inspirational HR leader with more than 25 years of global HR experience in North America and India. He's a relationship builder and a change agent. One of Dinesh's benchmarks of success is his community work. Dinesh has organized more than 15 webinars to help new Canadians learn the skills necessary to successfully integrate into Canadian culture and build their career in Canada. The webinars have been attended by over 700 session attendees, and recently one of his companies was awarded a Community Service Award by the Toronto Region Immigrant Employment Council, otherwise known as TRIEC. Please join me in welcoming today Mr. Dinesh Sharma.
Thank you, Desiree, for the wonderful introduction, and thank you, all of you, for taking a time on a Sunday morning to attend my presentation. As you said, my name is Dinesh Sharma. I'm the Area Director for Area C27. Plus, I have a couple of other roles that I do it, okay? But today's presentation is power of networking and relationship building. However, before I start my presentation, is a poll that Desiree is going to put there. Why are we here today? As Emmanuel was saying, that there are 10 other workshops going in. Why did you decide to join this workshop? For our information purposes, for our knowledge purposes, we would like to hear about it too. So if you could click that poll. Desiree, I can't see the questions on the poll.
You are a co-host, so you will not see the questions. You'll just see the results. Are you seeing the results? Okay.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
7 out of 8 people have answered so far.
Perfect.
One more person hasn't answered. Okay, and I'm going to close the poll in 2 seconds. Do you see the responses, Dinesh?
No, not yet.
Okay, so the most common response by 86% is I want to improve my networking skills, followed by I avoid networking events because it frightens me.
Perfect, perfect. So let's move on to the next slide then. So my presentation will cover 6 components. What is networking? Second is importance of networking or relationship. The third would be tools for building the relationship. The fourth is relationship converts challenges into the opportunity. And I'm going to show you some of the benefits that I have got by networking or the relationship. And the last is the summary. Next, please. So, what is networking? If you Google it up, then you'll find the meaning of networking saying that networking is the exchange of information and ideas amongst people within a common profession or common interest, usually in an informal setting. So the activity that we are doing it today is a networking activity because we all are here to learn about networking. We're going to be exchanging the information. We're going to be sharing ideas. Okay. However, to me, networking is like a bank account where you open an account for future transactions. Okay. Next one, please. So if you see the picture on the top, there are people, those who are sitting there discussing ideas. That, according to the Google definition, is networking. However, if you see the picture on the right-hand side, this is what I call it as the bank account. So what happens in the bank account? You go to a bank, you say, hey, I want to open an account. The teller opens an account for you. But can you do any transaction with that account? No, because till the time you don't put any money into that account, you cannot withdraw it. Okay, so when you put a money into the bank account, then you are able to withdraw that money. This is where it's called that, you know, I know one of you was saying that you are the financial person, you worked in the RBC, I think it was Sandra who said that too. So what happened? That's a relationship that happens, that you deposit the money first, then you are able to withdraw it. Okay, next one, please. So, importance of networking. Networking plays an important role in life. And as I said, many people misunderstand networking. Networking, to me, is equal to relationship building. It is a give and take theory. You give first before you receive anything. Like I said, it's a bank account. You put the money first before you are able to withdraw the money from the bank account. Next one. Benjamin Franklin says, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. So what does that mean? It says, like anything else, like your school exams or school or college exams, like your interviews, like the athletes does for playing, okay? It's a practice. You have to practice. Practice makes you perfect. Practice makes you present in this environment. You know, I was hearing it from somebody, and this is one of the athletes, I believe his name is Carl Lewis, okay? When he won that 100-meter relay race many years ago, and he did that in 0.9 seconds, the reporters went to him and said, Carl, you are going to be a multimillionaire now, okay? Because you have achieved this success in 9 seconds. So by your 9 seconds, okay, of hard work, you have become a multimillionaire. And one of the things Carl replied, and he says, for me to do this in 9 seconds, I have been practicing it for the last 10 years time. So for him, he practiced for 10 years time to achieve a success of 9 seconds, which in turn helped him become a star in the world. So by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Networking is a skill. We all have to learn that skill. And how do we learn that skill? We practice that skill on a daily basis. Okay, next one, please. Like any other thing, networking skills can be learned. Okay, so how do you learn the networking skills? The first thing first is you build rapport with the people. People like people who are like themselves or who are like how they would like to be. And I'll give you a perfect example. And I said this at the beginning also. Desiree and me only met 1 week back. But in less than 1 week, we have been able to build a relationship that we are now working as a team. Why? Two things. One, we both are Toastmasters, like all of you, we are Toastmasters. But the thing that I like between the two of us is both of us have the same passion of serving the community. I serve the newcomer community. She serves the senior community. What's the commonality? Service. He's doing the service, I'm doing the service. So people like people who are like themselves. So that's how me and her have been able to become a great team, or who are like how they would like to be. So Sandra, Chantal, Michelle, all of you, I know you want to learn networking. So together, we're going to become a great team in the coming days or the coming weeks, because you want to learn the networking, okay? And this is one of the things. It's taken me 15 years to do this presentation today. When I started doing this for the first time, I was shivering. I couldn't do public speaking, and that's how I joined Toastmaster. The second thing is you express positive energy. When we talk of expressing the positive energy, people like to be surrounded by people, with people, those who are positive in attitude. I'm sure you've seen the statistics or the studies which says it takes more muscles on your face to frown than to smile. And there is another analogy which says, smile costs nothing. Smile every day. And smile is contagious. If you smile, the others will start smiling with you too. But if you frown, people say, oh, stay away from this person, man. I don't want to be around negative people. Or, am I right? Am I right, Sandra? You agree? Chantal, you agree with me? Perfect. The third tool is be loving and kind. So when I say be loving and kind, is when you are meeting with the people, you do not know what the other person is going through. Okay, don't be judgmental. People may have challenges, especially this pandemic has thrown a lot of challenges to the people. People have lost jobs, people have lost their loved ones, people have lost so much. So when we are meeting with the people, be loving, be kind, show to them, hey, I am there for you. Okay. Sometimes, and I won't say sometimes, many times, people at least want, hey, somebody should be able to hear us out. Tell people, hey, is there anything that I can do for you? 9 out of the 10 times, the people will only tell you, no, I'm fine, I'm okay. But this only thought of saying, is there anything that I can do for you? Change the whole perspective. It helps you build relationship with that person, right? Next one, please. Have a sense of humor. Whenever you are talking with the people or building a relationship, have a sense of humor, okay? And I'll give you the perfect example of this one. My wife, okay, nice lady, okay? But one of the things she tells me, oh, Dinesh, you're so loud. When you talk in Toronto, she's currently in India for some family emergency, okay? And she tells me, you're so loud. You say things here in Toronto and me sitting in India can hear you out. You're so much loud. Why can't you be low? Why can't you talk slowly? And one of the things that I tell her that, honey, I know you love me so much. Whatever I'm saying in Toronto, you can hear me in India, okay? So that's the reason, because you love me so much. So to all the other people there, I say the same thing too, okay? Have a sense of humor. There is a saying that in our language, there are so many challenges we all have. However, once in a while, we all are entitled to what I call it as masti. You know what masti is? Have fun. The biggest, this is what I learned from my brother, younger brother. He's a pretty good guy. Okay, he tells me, he says the strongest are the people who are able to laugh at themselves. Laughing at others is easy. Laughing at yourself is challenging. So have a sense of humor. Laugh at yourself once in a while. Okay, comes to the next one. Embrace vulnerability. Nobody is perfect in this world. I'm not perfect. And this is what I was telling Desiree when we met for the first time. Okay, I may be a good talker, okay, but come technology, oh man, I'm so bad. I can't. I'll tell you, I'm very bad. I have a 14-year-old son, and he tells me many times, he says, Papa, come on, this is such a simple thing. You don't know how to do it with the technology, okay? And I says, no, buddy, I don't know how to do this too. He says, come, I'll teach you. 2 parts. So you express your vulnerability and say, I don't know this. Teach me. Show me. Okay? The strongest are the people, those who ask for help. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Asking for help is a sign of strength. I don't know. It's very easy. Raise your hand. I don't know. I told Desiree the first day, I don't know Zoom. I don't know Zoom. Show me, tell me, help me. Okay. And the last and the very important is compliment others. When you say compliment others, everybody have some unique skill set. I just learned from Chantal that she does online business. Okay. I learned from Emmanuel that he designed the website for District 60. Okay. I learned from so many of you that, hey, they have the skill set. So when they have that kind of a skill set, let's compliment for their skill set. Okay. People feel happy when you compliment for their skill set. It's very easy to pinpoint mistakes in them. I could have said, come on, you have this fault, this fault, this fault, this fault, or so. It's very easy to point faults in others. Very difficult to point good things in others. So compliment others. This is one of the biggest tools for building the relationship. Next one, please. Yeah.
We have the poll right now that I just popped up, just a reminder. So there's a poll that says, what are some networking tips that have been recommended in today's presentation? If everyone can just quickly vote on that before we proceed. Everyone's been paying attention. Everyone got it right, Dinesh. To effectively network, use a sense of humor, embrace your vulnerability, and build rapport. No one selected networking is all about receiving. So congratulations, everyone, for paying attention.
Thank you. So which means everybody's been paying attention to what I'm saying is, thank you. Thank you, all of you. Okay. And I came back to the same thing. Practice makes the master perfect. Practice makes you perfect. Carl Lewis winning that 100-meter relay race in 9 seconds took him 10 years of a practice to reach there. Me doing this presentation on networking and relationship, it's taken me 15 years to do this. And even now also, I'm not perfect. I'm learning. I'm learning every day. We all have to learn every day. Next one, please. Now, relationship for professional development. Relationship building is an important skill. It brings new opportunities. It opens closed doors. I'll give you an example of how it opens the closed doors. Okay. I work for federal government. Okay. So on Friday, I had a meeting set up with one of the directors of the unit, another unit where I'm not employed. That was a 15 minutes of a meeting. Okay. So she and me started talking and said, okay, what do you do and how do you do and all that stuff too. I asked her, I informed her and I said, I'm the area director for Toastmaster International. She says, really? I have a lot of respect for Toastmaster. What do you do there? And I said, okay, I'm presenting on this weekend on the power of networking and relationship. She says, have you made your presentation already? And I said, yes, I have. She says, can you share that presentation with me? Okay. You know what? First one was networking. Me and her were meeting for the first time. She asked me, okay, that, hey, what do you do? I'm a Toastmaster. I'm doing a presentation on the on power of networking and relationship building. She asked me, can you share that presentation with me? You know what my answer should be? Anyone? What should be my answer? Chantal? Sandra? What do you think my answer?
Yes, of course.
Yes, because from moving from networking to relationship building, you have to give first before you receive anything. And I said, sure, I'll share my presentation. Okay. And I immediately pressed. I sent the presentation. This presentation, I sent it to her. Okay. 2 hours later, she calls me and she says, Dinesh, I'm recruiting for a new position, I have to get my director to approve that position. But looking at and speaking with you, I think I'm going to recommend your name for that position. Was I, when that conversation had started, did I ask her for that role? No, I didn't ask her for that. It was more of an informational, as we call it in the job sector, informational interviews that we did it. But it opened the closed doors. The networking became relationship. Relationship now opened a new door that rather than me looking for a job, she's recommending to her director saying that I want to bring Dinesh on board in my team too. But more importantly, it helps you grow in your life. Okay, you look at the challenges other people are having it. You look at what others are going it. You grow every day. Okay, you learn from them. That's the more important. Jobs, money, career, these are all important, but your personal growth is what is more important to you. Next one, please. One of the motivational speakers that I'm very inspired by him. Okay, he said our greatest asset in life is not our bank balance. Yes, money is important. Don't get me wrong. Without money, somebody told me, hey, no money, no honey. Your wife won't ask you to come closer to you if you don't have the money with you. So no money, no honey. However, our greatest asset in life is not our bank balance. Our greatest asset in our life is our relationship balance. And here is an analogy that I give. In my difficult times, if I cry, which we all, and again, coming back to saying, crying is not a sign of weakness. Okay, if I cry, I want to see how many hands come forward to hold that tear that will fall from my eyes and let that tear not fall on the ground and say, hey, Dinesh, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry, we have you covered. We have you covered. Okay, because life will throw challenges at you. No doubt about it too. It's the support network that you have it that says, it's okay, we have you covered. Take it easy. Okay. So many studies have shown that people who have good relationship live happier and healthier life. Next one, please. So here's an example. As I said in the beginning, that one of the things, I'm an immigrant. Okay, I've had my fair share of challenges when I came to Canada. Okay, so to help mitigate the challenges that the other newcomers or immigrants coming to Canada that are facing it, more importantly, post-COVID-19, I have been organizing a lot of webinars, professional development events to help the immigrant community or the newcomer community settle down in the Canadian work culture. How have I been able to do that? Because of the good relationship that I have it, and take my word for it, I have not paid even a single penny to any of these panelists that have come to share their knowledge, nor have we charged even a single penny to any of the participants, the 700 participants that have attended our workshops in the last 1 year time. We have not charged with a single penny to any one of them too. And if you look at the profile of these people, they are from Ontario Power Generation, CIBC Bank, HSBC Bank, Enbridge Gas, Humber College, what else? Deloitte, you name it and we have it. Okay, and all these people are CEOs, presidents, directors, vice presidents, such a senior level executives. They have come forward to share their knowledge and expertise with the newcomer community, saying that, hey, we know there is a need and we are here to help. And Dinesh has built a platform, so we are happy to do that too. Next one, please. And when you give it to the people, when you do it for them too, you get these kind of messages from people, how fulfilling it becomes. At least for me, I'm not sure about you guys too, but for me, I'm able to go in the sleep with a deep sense of gratitude that, hey, my whole aim of the life is every day, I just have to make one person smile with my actions, just one person. And this is somebody who's told me this. He says, Dinesh, you don't have to take big steps. You just have to take one baby step. Make one person happy every day. But at the end of 1 year time, you will realize that you have made a difference in 365 people, the power of compounding. And not only that, those 365 people, if they go ahead and they start making difference in one person's life, and they in turn go ahead and make a difference in one person's life, your small actions is how much difference it has made in the community at large. Am I right? What did I do? Did I give them the money? No, I didn't give them the money. I only spent 15 minutes and an hour or half an hour of my time with these people every day. Consistency. This is one of the books that I read it. It says power of habits. Habits that we develop. The actions that we take today is going to decide what our future would be. Next one, please. Can you click this one too? So when I doing this kind of a stuff, okay, here's what people do. Okay. People write stories for me. I'm humbled when I do that. Even in fact, Canadian Immigrant Magazine, okay, in their online edition of this week on April 13th, shared my journey of how I came to Canada, of how many struggles that I went through, and now how I'm able to give back to the community. Okay, so this is one of the newcomers who wrote my life journey saying that I made my place in Canada. How did I do it? I built a relationship with the people, I worked hard, but I'm not keeping it to myself. I'm giving it back to the community. Next one, please. So, in summary, networking is like a bank account. You open an account for a future transactions. Networking is equal to relationship building. It is a give and take theory. You give first before you receive anything. And one of the things that you have to keep in mind, that if you try to take more than what you have given, like in a bank account, you have $100 in a bank, you go to the bank and you tell the teller, I need $1,000. And the guy or a gal there, the teller, is going to tell you, buddy, you only have $100 and you're asking me $1,000? How can I give you? And then you say, oh, give me an overdraft. Bank will give you the overdraft, will say, okay, but what will happen? You'll become red circle there. You go next time, and they'll say, you already are an overdraft there. Why do you expect us? They might give you a second time also that, okay, we'll give you an overdraft of $2,000 and you already take a $900. I'm going to give you another $1,000 more. You go to the third time. You know what the teller is going to tell you? Anyone? Emmanuel, are you still here? Yeah, Emmanuel, you are here. Emmanuel, Michelle, you know what the teller is going to tell you?
Bye.
Sorry?
It will tell you bye-bye. Give the money back that you owe first.
Yes, very right. Michelle, what do you think?
That, or probably at a bank, sell you another service. Convert into something else.
Yeah. So the bank is going to tell you, buddy, you're already on an overdraft. Okay, get your acts together. Okay, come back into giving more first. First, give us back of what you've already taken. Then let's talk about something else. So that basically what happens is you become a red circle. Okay, people start avoiding you. People don't want to talk to you. Is this what you want to do in your life? No, I'm not sure you want to do that too. Am I right? Shelly, what do you think? Do you hear, Shelly? Yeah.
Yes,
So what do you
I'm
think?
here. So, yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I think you have to give in order to receive. So that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, very right. How about you, Corbett? What do you think? What's your thoughts are?
I'd say that I think we've probably all had experiences where, people, we've been networking and kind of experienced that red circle effect, and it's not pleasant. So avoiding it's critical.
Yeah, avoiding the red circle is very critical. Many times people ask me that, what do I give? I don't have anything. I'm looking for a work. I'm selling these things. Okay. Sometimes meeting with people, spending 10, 15 minutes time, even listening to them is what your challenges are. Can I connect you with somebody? They may not know somebody, but I might know somebody that I can connect you with too. Spending that 15 minutes time builds relationship with you. And when you build a relationship, you help somebody, you convert. I'll give you one last example. I went to a networking event last year and I met with a very senior professional. He was the president of an organization. He started in that organization as a director. We went ahead and become the vice president, and then he became the president of that organization. He worked in that organization for 20 years time. COVID-19, the organization went down under, gentleman lost the job. Okay. Now, initially, he thought that, okay, I'm a president of that organization. I know a lot of people there. Okay. But COVID has made an impact on everybody. 15 months, this gentleman is still out of work. Now he's broken. Not because financially, obviously finance plays an important role, but he says, Dinesh, when I get up in the morning, I don't know what to do today. Because how long can I look for a job? It's been 15 months time that I've been doing this too. So when I met him last week, I said, hold it. What I will do is, I'm in the executive search firm. I will connect you with 2 or 3 of my contacts, and they in turn might know somebody there too. So one of the things that we call it is you only need one person to believe you to get you what you want. You only need one person. Now that one person could be 1 out of 1, 1 out of 10, or in some cases, it could be 1 out of 100 also. You have to keep networking. You have to keep building the relationship. You have to keep doing this too. And it's not about you only. It's about overall. Whenever you meet somebody, tell people, is there anything that I can do to help you? Okay, so relationship converts challenges into the opportunities. Next one, please. So in conclusion, be prepared. When you are networking, know your audience. And even I'm going to ask you also, when you're doing it, ask people for the feedback. How did I do? And this survey monkey that we are going to send, we're going to ask the same feedback. How did I do? Was the presentation any meaningful to you? Did you take away anything, any good takeaways from this presentation? Okay, why? I may have said something, I may have missed something that when I get that feedback, I'm going to improve it for my next presentation. Next one, please. So that's all for the presentation part of it too. If you want to know more about me, you have my information. I will put it in the chat also. But the other activity that we're going to do is now Desire is going to mention about that activity. Okay, so to you.
Well, Dinesh, let me just change the view here. We are actually at 10:26, which is supposed to be the group share. Do you still want to do the breakout room and just have them break out for say 5 minutes and then come back as opposed to 10?
Yeah, 5 minutes is fine. We only have 2 groups.
Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to place you in breakout rooms. We'd like all recipients to do the following, and I'll pose these questions in the chat as well. Choose one person to represent the group and a quick group share after the breakout is done. So 1 minute each person. I want you to exchange your names and your occupation, and then determine how many common elements are shared between the group members and then just name them out to us. We want to see in 5 minutes how much commonalities we can find in our individual groups. There are 8 people here. District 60, I'm not sure if it's an attendee, so that's 9 with District 60. So I'll do 5 and 4, and you will have 5 minutes to share. So just give me one quick second as
I'm just going
I.
to say, sorry, Desiree, I'm just going to say, when we have this in the table topics in Toastmaster, we say you have 1 minute to talk about the impromptu speaking. So 5 minutes, you will have 1 minute each one of you to share your name, profession, and find some common elements amongst yourselves. So 1 minute for everybody, because you have 5 people and 5 minutes, I will give it to everybody. Thanks, Desiree.
Great. Here we go.
Perfect. Thank you. How did it go?
It went really well. We're still recording. So yeah, it went really well. Now, if you'd like, do you see the breakout on your screen or no?
No, I can't.
Okay, so then don't worry about jumping in. They only have 5 minutes, so it won't take long.
Yeah.
I've got to post the questions in the chat for them, actually. Let me just do that right now. All right, everyone's back.
Yeah.
Perfect. So ask the group 1 to present it, and then, we said we ran out of time. Okay. No worries. Stuff happens.
Do you want me to take the lead on this, Dinesh?
Yeah.
Okay, so our first group, do we have a representative?
Can you define what the first group is?
You can be the first group. You spoke first.
Okay.
There we go. You're the first group. Can you go ahead and share with us what you learned from your group?
Does anybody else want to share first? Okay, so I'll go ahead. I would say fundamentally, every single person, what we had in common was a recognition that networking is important, and it's played an important part both positively in our lives and negatively in the sense that it is important and we haven't done as much as we could have in that area. And there are some specific commonalities. For example, I mentioned I was an engineer, and Joanne mentioned she was a computer person coming out of an engineering background. And the other commonalities you wouldn't know, but my son's in computers as well. So that came out. Yeah, and there's, you know, a lot of people are quite involved in Toastmasters, like Michelle, long time involvement in Toastmasters, and involved in the organization of Toastmasters. And I mentioned I had organized 2 Toastmasters clubs in the engineering community, so that was certainly a commonality. But it was a very brief period of time. It seemed like it was only about 2 minutes. But in that short time, we did share some commonalities, I did think.
Perfect.
Jim.
Before we
Yep.
move on to the next group, Jim, I want to share something with you. So, like I was mentioning, me and Desiree have so many commonalities. When you're talking with the people, okay, there are many commonalities people will have it. You just have to explore it. I might say, I'm throwing up an example. Like you rightly said, your son is coming from a computer engineering background. What was Sandra's or John's son was coming from. So the other person was, so, or say, I have an elderly parent, or I'm an HR, or my son is this one, or I live in this area, or this is from a movie perspective. I like this movie. I like this basketball. I like this sports. I like this. I like this. I like reading these books. So there are hundreds and thousands of areas where you can find the commonalities. And when you find even one commonality, you start take the discussion from a formal to now you become informal, because you're able to connect with that person. So say, hey, I have this too. You know how does that work? So thank you for sharing that, Jim. Next one. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll quickly share before we go on to the groups as well. I had a situation where I had to connect with a sales representative for a software for a package that we're using at work. And before we even started discussing it, we just started chatting, came to find out she grew up in Mississauga, came to find out in talking as well, this is within 5 minutes, that she actually lived across the street from the school where my daughter went. And she went to schools that my husband went. And in conversation from that, we had a very basic package. But because we formed this commonality, I got A-class service. She told me, I'm giving you service I give to clients who spend millions of dollars. And it's because we formed that commonality really quick. So when even in work, when you have a conversation with someone, take the extra 2 minutes just to, how's the weather? That's a great icebreaker. How's the weather? And from there, you don't know where you'll end up in networking as well. Who would like to go next?
I can jump in for our group if you like.
That's great. Thank you.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Corbett, and I was speaking with Chantal and Emmanuel. And so 3 things that came out of our chat. We discovered that we are all relatively new to Toastmasters. We range between about 6 months and a year and a half. And all of us have professions and careers where basically we are talking to people or connecting with people all the time. And I think that's where networking proves to be incredibly valuable to all 3 of us. We had differing levels of comfort and desire from networking. However, there was a note of commonality I found, which was that for all of us, there seems to be this sense of pleasure in helping other people and finding ways, and that's a natural form of connection for all 3 of us. I think that's our 3.
Perfect. This is wonderful. So when you talk of this, that hey, all of us are new to the Toastmaster, then you start connecting, because when people start Toastmaster for the first 3 months time, everybody is kind of nervous. What do I do? So the first icebreaker speech is very, very important. It takes the fear out of you. And one of the things that I love about Toastmaster is nobody is judgmental. They are giving you the constructive feedback. And I'll give you this mine too. When I delivered my icebreaker speech, I thought I'm perfect. I did a wonderful speech. But when I got that feedback, you know what feedback that I got? There was one common element that all the participants had given it to me. And they said, at the end of your every sentence, you say, okay, that's so. Why do you have to say so all the times too? And I was thinking, really, did I do that? But then one time I recorded myself and heard it. and they all were right. First of all, it's not that I didn't believe them. I believed them, because if everybody is saying the same thing, that there is this one, but I then still recorded myself to hear it. And yeah, I was saying at the end of every sentence, I was saying, so nobody is judgmental, but it still helps you give a constructive feedback for you to improve it. Thank you, Corbett. Thank you so much for sharing. So we still have 5 minutes, more than 5 minutes or so. So if anybody has any specific question to ask, okay, floor is yours. And I know Desiree said she needs to take a group picture also. So we all should smile.
I've been taking pictures the whole time.
Oh my
I've been doing
goodness.
Just on the topic of commonality, I think that is probably the most important thing I've taken away in this meeting. And I think back on my own experience with a person I had great difficulty with at work. I mean, it was just like that every time we met. And somehow we got on the topic of music. And through that discussion, I found out that his uncle was in the Four Lads. Now, none of you are old enough to even remember the Four Lads, but that was a fairly popular group in the late 50s, 60s. And it was a group I really knew, and I enjoyed it. And so that was the first connection. And then I said to him, you must be a good singer yourself, coming from such a heritage. And he said, yes, I am. And he actually gave me several bars of one of the Four Lads song. And after that, we're so closer together and helping each other and communicating just through that one connection.
Yeah, it works. It works. Okay.
Definitely.
Anyone else has a comment, question? Right.
I had an observation that group one, we were all more maybe at a longer term mentoring stage, and group one spoke about being new to the role to Toastmasters. And I found it very interesting because I enjoy evaluating speeches and mentoring other people. And so that might be something that was more of a commonality. I didn't have a chance to ask other people in our group but just was an observation I wanted to share.
Perfect. Good. Thank you for that, Michelle.
I didn't have an opportunity to introduce myself during our session, so I thought I would do that. My name is Shelley Wilson. I am a legal professional, so I haven't heard anybody in that field. Mainly my focus around corporate governance and legal operations. One of the things that I'm also president of our Inspiring Voices Toastmasters, and I've been a Toastmaster for about 4 years. An experience that I had, which is really a true testament to networking and relationship building, is I have a coworker who in discussions, he knew that I was looking for an opportunity to get on a board. So he heard of an opportunity. He sent me the link. Why don't you apply? I did apply. And I fortunately have now been elected to that not-for-profit board in an area that I am really passionate about, which is young families, young parents, struggling, etc. But a twist to this is that one of my passions is travel. I do a lot of traveling prior to COVID, and I went on a solo trip to Spain. And while I was there, I met an amazing group of people that we traveled together. So the first day that I attended my board meeting, and I saw a person that I went on my trip to Spain with on this board. We've been in contact. We follow each other on social media. We've never really talked about our passions from a professional perspective. And it was so funny. It was like, who would have thought? I went all the way to Spain to meet this person that lives in Toronto. We now are on a board together with the commonalities in our passion. So it just goes to show, networking, relationship building. This is what it's all about for everybody.
Thank you, Shelley. You raised pretty good point, but on the other hand, good you mentioned that you're from the legal profession, because somebody reached out to me earlier this week and he says, Dinesh, you know a lot of people there out, okay? I have somebody who's looking to make it into the legal profession. Would you know somebody that can guide this person on the process and everything? And I said, okay, I'll look around. Now that if you feel okay, if you feel sharing your knowledge with somebody, okay, you have my email address, okay, you can connect with me and I will then connect you with this other person who's trying to help the fourth person in turn to get into the legal profession. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
You
of
connect
course.
with me, I connect you with this third person, and that third person connects you with the fourth person who's trying to enter into the legal profession. One of the things that I say always is, sometimes the opportunity that you are looking for, we call it a 6-degree connection. So sixth person that you know in the whole networking will be able to help you find that role, opportunity, knowledge, whatever you call it. So okay.
Sure.
Thank you. If you can, I'll appreciate it, Shelley.
Sure.
So in the interest of time, it is now 10:45. Dinesh, it's been a great presentation. Can you probably give us 3 nuggets that we can leave with before we start to wrap things up?
Yes. So the 3 nuggets that I want to give everybody from this session is that 1, relationship is very important. Relationship building is very important, not only for your professional growth, but for your personal growth also. The second thing I want to share is be interested in what other people are going through. Invest in other people. And I am a true testimony, and I'm humbled when I say this too. When you look after other people, you don't have to look after yourself. I tell you this, I'm a true testimony. Okay, you don't have to look after yourself. There is somebody that I call it a superpower, humanity, God, whatever you call it. They look after you. Okay, the amount of successes that I have received through networking, and I'll tell you, I have gone through one of the worst challenges in my life. One of the worst challenges. And the third and the very important thing is life is a journey. We all meet people every day. Okay, life is not a destination, it's a journey. Okay, so when you meet people during this journey, okay, and be interested in them, see what you can do for them too. And last thing I want to share, I know it's 10:45. I met somebody 6 months back, landed new in Canada or so, looking for a work. We connected, then I kind of dropped off there. And last Sunday, I reached out to her and said, how are you doing? She said, I'm still looking for a work. I said, what's your academic profession? Teacher or in a college, university? I knew somebody in Centennial College. Okay, I connected her with that Centennial College person. Less than 2 days, the Centennial College professor connected her with somebody else. And they said, come September, you would be on the roll of Centennial College, teaching in Centennial College. Be interested in other people. That's my only thing that I want to say. Thank you very much. Thank you. I don't have words to express my thank you for all your wonderful participation. Thank you, Desiree. It's been a wonderful working with you. Okay. Have a wonderful Sunday, rest of the Sunday.
And at that point, I would like to thank Mr. Dinesh Sharma for delivering a fantastic workshop to us this morning, one that I'm sure we'll all come away with some key nuggets. Thank you again to Senior Living 4-in-1 Incorporated for providing us with the use of their Zoom account, and to the people at District 60 Toastmasters for making these workshops possible. As Toastmasters, we know firsthand that feedback is key to the success of any Toastmaster. So please take the time to answer the feedback survey that I've shared in the link in the chat. Also, it'll be sent to your email address. Remember, the title of this workshop was Power of Networking and Relationship Building. Please write that down, as it is the first question in the feedback survey. Everyone, there's lots more activities. There's the speech contest, so much more to look forward to. And have a great evening and enjoy the rest of your day and have a blessed week.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dinesh. Thank you, Desiree.
Thank you.
Amazing.